I'm Dr. Carol Reese, and we are doing our weight loss class. This is the second of our series, and we have 12 different classes that we'll be doing. And today we're going to be talking about detox and why it's important to detox. I'm going to mention real quick so that I don't forget, next week it's going to be change your brain, change your body, okay? So you'll want to fill those forms out before you come in next week. And if you have a chance, bring them back in to me before next week so that I can go over them, and then I can look at what the issues are as far as even hormones, brain balancing, what part of the brain is overfiring, what part is underfiring, so we have a real good idea of what to do. Okay. And as far as the class today about detox, I pulled information from several different books. One of them is called Detox or Die by Dr. Sherry Rogers, medical doctor. And her story is that she had totally degenerated disc and other discs that were degenerating. And she was in so much pain. She called herself the Princess of Pain. She got so that she couldn't even get out of bed. Her pain was so bad. And then she became debilitated. So she said that the medical doctors couldn't help her. She said the medical doctors told her no surgery would help her. So what she did is she went on a mission to find out what she could do naturally to help herself. And then came with the book Detox or Die. So I used that book. The other book, The Cure for All Disease, gives us a lot of really good information too, by Dr. Hulda Clark. And she was a leading parasitologist for the Canadian government. And so she did a lot of research for them about different toxins and how they affect us. Then the other one is What Your Doctor May Not Tell You. And some of the chapters in the back deal with toxins. Autoimmune disease in our country is caused from too many toxins. And so that's what this book talks about. So a couple of questions. So we ask ourselves, how do we know we have to detox? And a couple of questions that he asks, is your skin sensitive to sun, fabric, detergents, or other products? Have any of you guys ever had a reaction to a rash, maybe?
Matt's skin, he gets hives.
Okay.
That's when bills come in though, so.
We don't always know.
A little stress related there, right?
They get huge and hard and red.
Okay.
And he has real sensitive skin. But we don't know what it's from.
And that's an indication that
we need to detox, I'm sure.
Yeah. Which is interesting because in Chinese medicine, whenever you have a lot of toxins in the liver, then it will manifest itself in the skin. So even things like eczema and psoriasis, they go back to liver toxicities. Okay? So we always support the liver whenever anybody has
What's
rashes.
the name of that, or the author of that
This one is What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Autoimmune Disease.
I meant the author.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stephen
Stephen Edelson.
And
Deborah Mitchell.
I was like, I can see. Good job.
Thanks.
And I'm going to ask other questions and see if anybody has had any of these issues that they've had to deal with. Have you had allergies? Have you had an allergy test done and found that you have a lot of allergies to pollen,
Am I?
foods?
I'm allergic to Georgia pollen.
Georgia pollen? Okay. Okay.
Florida pollen's better.
And then it says, in the past 30 days, how many times have you consumed fish or fish products? And of course, the connection with that would be mercury, right? So unless you get like mercury free, it's going to be very hard to get fish. And of course, it's the larger fish that are going to have mercury. So the swordfish, the tuna, the flounder, it's the larger fish that will have mercury because they eat the smaller fish in great quantities. So we would never want to eat whale, right? Have you been exposed to any of the following items? This is interesting. Mascara, skin lightening creams, laxatives, calamine lotion, contact lens solution,
Oh.
latex paint, fabric softeners, floor waxes, wood preservatives, tattooing. Everybody has tattoo, right? Batteries or fungicides for the lawn. They all have mercury. Isn't that interesting? Even mascara. Yeah. Have you ever taken tetracyclines or other antibiotics for acne for more than 1 month? How many kids now do that? Have to take tetracyclines because they have acne. So that too is going to cause toxic buildup in the liver. Have you ever taken prednisone or other cortisone drugs for less than 2 weeks or more than 2 weeks? Yeah, I know you've taken the birth control pill.
We were expecting them.
Went off of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard about the estrogen effects.
Yeah.
Has any physician evaluated you to attempt to find out why you're having fatigue? Or do you have fatigue? Yes. Okay. Does your fatigue interfere with your work, household, chores, hobbies, reading, eating? Okay. Okay. So what that means is that whenever we have any of those symptoms, we have some toxins in our system that we can't get rid of. In her book, Detox or Die, there's like so much information in there. And I think we all know how the environment is so toxic, right? So I'm going to try to cover just some of the highlights, and then actually Dr. Jen's also going to talk to us too about her detox program. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the highlights of Dr. Sherry Rogers' book so that we can just appreciate how important it is for us to detox. But to me, it was like, oh my gosh, this is doom and gloom because everything was, it's like, we can't get away from it. That's true. But the good news is that everything you see on this table will detox your body. And I was going to ask everybody, what do you think that these things all have in common? And what they have in common is they detox your body. And towards the end of the class, what I'll talk about is the different foods that detox different organ systems according to Chinese medicine. Okay, and we'll go through that. What do you think that are the easiest ways to detox our body, however? Fast? Huh?
Water.
Yes. Yay, Matt, I should give you a chocolate bar.
I'll fight him for it.
Yes, the easiest way to detox is water, the fastest and easiest. And then the next best way is going to be through sweating. Sweating is going to detox our body too. It's going to be real important that we try to sweat every day, which means that, working out. You work out every day, Stacy, right?
Not last week.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, five times a week.
Okay.
5
Do
days.
you work up a sweat?
No, I don't like to.
Isn't that funny?
I don't like to either.
I know.
That's why I don't lose weight going to the gym.
Yeah.
That's why Alora swims, because she doesn't like sweat. I mean, you sweat
I like
when you swim.
feeling sweat.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm already wet, then,
Yes, that is so
I don't like
interesting.
feeling sweat.
That is so
Why?
interesting.
Keep up with it, Dad.
I don't
So-
mind sweating.
Mhm.
No,
Good.
she doesn't.
Here's the important thing. It's like if you're sweating, if you're working up a sweat and you're working out and working up a sweat, make sure you have a hand towel with you to wipe that sweat off.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
Because that sweat contains heavy metals, it contains plastics, it contains it can contain funguses. So you want to make sure that you wipe that sweat off.
Not onto your shirt
Right,
that's
right.
right next to your
That's
body.
even more disgusting with the guy that doesn't clean the machine before me.
Yes.
Oh.
That's now
Yes.
it grosses me out even more.
Yes. But just remember, it's very important to sweat. In fact, in her book, Detox or Die, she talks about when you sweat, and of course she says that one of the best ways to detox is the infrared sauna, okay? But she says when you go into the infrared sauna and you slowly build up your time in there, you're detoxing. She says make sure you've got a hand towel that you can wipe that sweat off. And she says, and guess what? You don't have to shower afterwards, she says, because guess what? You're the cleanest you're going to be. When you sweat and detox all that out, you are really clean. Now, I would definitely take a shower myself personally. It's just me. And the other way that I really want to encourage everybody to detox is through their ginger baths.
Okay.
So the 2 tablespoons of ginger in hot water 3 times a week is going to be
Wait,
really
say 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of ginger.
Ginger and what?
In your bath water.
Powdered or grated?
It's powdered ginger, not the fresh. You get the powdered ginger like you're buying spices at the grocery store.
You said 3 times a week?
3 times a week, 2 tablespoons of ginger in hot bath 3 times a week. Make sure that you get up and get out of there very slowly. And as you get out of that bath water, you're going to start pouring sweat. And then when you step out, you are going to just pour sweat. So that's going to last for about 5 minutes. So just kind of stay in that bathroom, get that towel, and wipe yourself off.
Should we just shower afterwards?
You don't want to shower afterwards because the sweating takes place after you get out. Oh,
Well, I mean, after you sweat, wipe it off,
you
then
can,
shower.
You
Okay.
can. Absolutely. Yeah.
So you just put this ginger and the water.
How long
2
do you soak in the
tablespoons of
hot tub?
ginger, and you put that in your bath water, stir it up. And then if you can stay in there, I'm going to say 7 to 10 minutes, because it's going to be hard to stay in there because you want that water to be hot,
Oh, okay.
okay? But not so hot that you pass out. You don't want that.
Okay.
So, this is very good to do if you start getting a cold or if you start getting a virus or something like that. If you do this, it will totally boost your immune system. And this is what the Chinese, and they'll have you do that. The old acupuncturists, the ones that are older, they will have you whenever you're starting to get sick. They'll have you do this ginger bath. Okay. And then you can't follow that with a shower. If the shower is not hot, you want to make it just, a warm or medium, right? And that way it will close your pores, but also that will boost the immune system too. Okay, following the hot bath with a cooler shower. Okay, not cold.
Tepid.
Yes, tepid. I think last week, I think I had mentioned that 1 in every 2 men will get cancer, 1 in every 3 women will get cancer. I don't know if I mentioned that the leading cause of disease causing deaths among children is cancer between ages 1 and 15.
Wow.
The leading cause of disease-related death in children is cancer. And that's just scary.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness, what's happening to the environment? And
McDonald's.
Yes, McDonald's. Right.
My generation feeds them all junk
Yes,
food.
exactly. We're getting away from these foods. That's right. So one of the main causes of toxins in our environment is plastics. Plastics will put out phthalates, and that's spelled P-H-T-A-L-A-T-E-S. Phthalates that leach out of plastics, and I don't care if it says, this is a good plastic because it's got this number on the bottom. It's still going to leach out these phthalates. And in fact, it's so prevalent now that the government has established an average human amount for phthalates, for plastics in the system. We consume 210 micrograms of phthalates a day. Our body does not recognize these phthalates.
Is this like food that's packaged in plastic absorbs it, or what are the different ways?
Water bottles?
It's going
I was
to
going to say
be-
drink out of this cup.
Right. Anything
Storing your
plastic.
leftovers.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
I went and got all Pyrex dishes.
okay.
That's
Good.
what we want to do.
Yeah, threw away all the.
Tupperware and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Just storing your leftovers. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did too. I went and bought, all the, the small to the big Pyrex dishes,
Mhm.
right. Unfortunately, now a lot of those Pyrex dishes will come with the lids,
Mm-hmm.
so you can, so you have to use saran wrap. But I have found with mine that a lot of them don't come with lids, and it's like, oh great, I have to put plastic on there. I make sure it's not touching the,
Food.
the
Well, the
food.
lids are plastic, but just don't let them touch your food.
Touch food.
Don't
Yeah.
fill it so high that
Okay.
That it touches the food.
Kohl's has really
Oh, so I
good
can eat more
sales.
then.
Coals.
On
Right,
the
right.
I
plat
can
on
eat more
the
for
More.
Pyrex.
Pyrex, like when
So it doesn't
Kohl's,
fill up those leftover dishes.
Do you get the Kohl's
I'll weigh
coupons?
less next week.
They do like the additional 30% off, and they'll have it on
Good idea.
sale.
Okay.
You can get a good set for
Okay.
And then I was gonna show everybody, this glass container, this glass water bottle comes from Starbucks.
Oh,
And of course, there's the stainless steel ones too.
Does?
You can get from, yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods has the stainless steel ones. So make sure that you use the stainless steel ones or the glass ones.
This one from Amazon. Yeah.
Is that glass?
I have glass.
Oh gosh, look at
with
that.
Silicones.
Yeah.
where'd you get it from?
What is it?
Amazon. It's just a water bottle from it's called Life Factory is the brand of it. They're
You
not
can get
cheap.
it at like a specialty running store. They're super
Mhm.
expensive.
It's glass, but it has
Mhm.
plastic on the
Silicone
outside.
sleeve.
No,
Yeah,
silicone.
silicone.
Oh, silicone. Okay.
Mhm.
I was afraid to ask you if that was plastic, so I'm glad you shared that with us.
So silicone's not a plastic?
Silicone's on the outside.
It's outside the glass.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's
Here, I'm
not
gonna
on
pass
the
it.
inside.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're super ridiculously crazy expensive though.
But you can find them on Amazon.
I
A lot
have
of times
one.
you can get 2 for reduced price and free shipping. And
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There you
well,
go.
then I need to go to Amazon.
Yeah, just
I think I paid $25 for my one like that.
Okay, no kidding.
But I
That's
got it at
expensive.
a specialty shop.
right like a Fresh Market or Whole Foods or something like that.
Even
More special.
Are you going to talk about? I'll be quiet and just let you finish.
Just like-
I won't jump the gun.
So, getting back to the plastics and the phthalates, the important thing we have to remember about these plastics, and you know, when you go and buy like frozen vegetables and frozen organic fruits even, if they're frozen, guess what they're in? They're in plastic. They're in plastic bags, right? Frozen
Or
blueberries.
plastic coated boxes.
Yeah.
so frozen blueberry.
Yeah. The point is you can't get away from it. The best way to detox it is to sweat. For phthalates, is to sweat. To
You need to
get
have
those
a
phthalates.
Drink
Sauna
your
installed in
smoothie
the
and then go
house.
sweat.
I
Oh,
second that
good.
motion.
Thank you.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Costing me more and more.
So
babies.
where is, so you don't want the steamy rock sauna, you want the infrared?
Yeah, infrared. And you can get online and you can actually make your own.
Oh.
So you can get online and look at the infrared.
Okay.
Infrared
Mhm.
sauna.
You can what?
Go online. The infrared sauna is going to be the best way to detox your body. Absolute best. It's going to detox everything.
She's buying a sauna?
I was kidding.
Oh.
I wasn't.
Are you gonna? I need a house out back.
Yeah,
Her,
right.
her birthday's coming up.
I'm
so-
gonna be there for meals and sauna. Good
And dry
Just move
brushing.
in, right?
Your place sounds great.
We can just go in the attic, honey. That'll make us sweat.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Take our time.
The important thing we have to remember about these plastics is they cause environmental endocrine disruptors. It's called EEDs. Environmental endocrine disruptors, or EEDs. And what these environmental endocrine disruptors will do is they block the action of hormones. So they will fill in those receptor sites on the cell that normally would take in thyroid hormone or progesterone or testosterone. It will block those sites, or even ghrelin and leptin, which are 2 hormones that regulate your hunger. And it will block those sites so that those hormones can't get through. So then therefore, you know what happens when we don't have enough progesterone? It's like our body might be producing it, but because we have toxins, it's blocking the cell receptor sites for the progesterone to get in there. So, you know, you don't want a woman that doesn't have enough progesterone because she'll be a crazy lady. Or enough estrogen getting into her system, or even thyroid. So when we're looking at thyroid hormone, or we're looking at ghrelin and leptin being blocked out of the cells, we're looking at weight gain. So this is one of the reasons why this is important for us to consider, because these phthalates will cause weight gain because they block the hormone receptor sites, okay? So interesting enough, what happens is those phthalates, they store in adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is fat. That's where they store. We have a friend back in New Mexico. Interestingly enough, we heard this about a month ago. He was very overweight, and he started to diet, and he developed cancer. And they were like, well, what happened? And what happened is he was releasing all those toxins because he did a very fast diet. It wasn't slow. So you have to be careful not to do a crash diet, okay? So, again, it stores in the adipose tissue. So the fatter we are, the more adipose tissue we have, the more toxins we're gonna store in our system.